Amnesty International today has halted its operations in India, alleging that its accounts were frozen earlier this month as a part of a crackdown by the government, and it had to let go most of its staff. The government says the global rights watchdog never registered under the Foreign Contribution Regulation Act, the FCRA, which is required for any foreign funding. In a press statement, Amnesty has said that the complete freezing of Amnesty International bank accounts by the Government of India, which it came to know about on the 10th of September, brings all the work that has been done to the organization, by the organization, to a grinding halt. My colleague Mariam, who's been tracking the details of the story, is joining us on the broadcast. Mariam, you know, it's been a huge development that has taken place. Amnesty International's bank accounts have been frozen, and Amnesty has in fact alleged that this is a witch hunt by the government.
Yes, Rishika. So Amnesty International says that their bank accounts were frozen on the 10th of September. That's about 19 days ago, putting them under great financial stress, which in turn meant that they had to halt their operations in India and let go of a large number of their staff in India. And this, they say, comes under, it's because of government reprisal. My sources within Amnesty, and this is mentioned in the statement as well, they say that they recently released Amnesty has been critics of the government, and recently on August 5th, they released a report on the status update of Jammu and Kashmir since the abrogation of Article 370. And August 28th, they also released another report on the Delhi riots, specifically about the role of the Delhi police and how they had violated human rights both before, during, and after the riots. A lot of them see this as a direct fallout of those reports. The last report came out on the 28th of August. Within days, on the 10th of September, their accounts were frozen. Now, the agencies, as you rightly said, have mentioned the allegations that have been raised are about Foreign Contribution Regulation Act or the FCRA violations, and also certain money laundering charges as well. But what we've been told is that by my sources in Amnesty is that they never got any official word about why their accounts were frozen currently. They were informed about their accounts being frozen by their banks, and they have no idea. And of course, Amnesty is also denying all charges, all allegations, and they're saying that they've complied with all Indian and international laws.
Also, Mariam, this isn't the first time that Amnesty's accounts have been frozen or they've been forced to shut shop in India.
So in October 2018, the ED had raided their premises, and there was some action taken against them. At that time, their accounts were also frozen at the time. But then in 2019, November 2019, their offices were raided by the CBI, and again, each of these things, Amnesty claims that this was in reaction to something they had done earlier. For example, for the November 2019 raids by CBI, they said that this came immediately after them testifying at the US congressional hearing on the situation of human rights in South Asia, with specific focus on Jammu and Kashmir since the abrogation of Article 370.
This isn't the first time. It's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out. The government, of course, claims that it is FCRA violations. Amnesty on their part claim that they have a pending request with the government as far as FCRA clearance is concerned, which hasn't been cleared. Appreciate you, Mariam, for joining us for the very latest. We have Suhas Chakma, the Director, Rights and Risk Analysis Group, joining us on the broadcast. Your reaction to this development?
Well, I think it's extremely unfortunate that an organization like Amnesty had to close the office. The question is whether the largest democratic country can be threatened by a human rights organization. The very purpose of the Foreign Contribution Regulation Act is to ensure that political parties do not receive foreign funding. So when Mrs. Gandhi brought this act in 1976, it was to ensure that the opposition political parties did not receive the foreign funding. The judges do not receive the foreign funding because the judgments do matter, as well as the news agencies. So you have a situation.
Do you concur with the Amnesty statement that this is a witch hunt against them?
Well, if the Congress party as well as the BJP can exonerate themselves to the Finance Act of 2018 for illegally receiving foreign money. What crime has the Amnesty done? So it makes the case very obvious. Amnesty doesn't have to say it.
Okay.
It's on the face of it, everybody can say it.
I do want to get in a quick reaction from PKD Nambiar, a political analyst whose views lean towards the BJP. PKD Nambiar, the government very clearly is being accused of a witch hunt in this case. What's your reaction?
What do you call about a witch hunt? If an organization with receiving an international fund using the interest of the in the name of human working for the human rights and working actually against the government and in the country and propagating the laws which are passed by in the parliament and going against Article 370 and CAA and globalizing such kind of issues, talking about only the human rights of the terrorists and the Naxals. And is that what an organization like an Amnesty International who is talking about the?
So then you are saying that this is not about FCRA, but this is indeed about the views or reports that Amnesty has made public. You are acknowledging that.
No, Rishita, it's a combination of multiple things. One is an activity of an organization.
No, but you've only targeted Amnesty for the work that they've done, which the establishment clearly doesn't agree with.
It's actually a combination of both the things.
Okay,
if you're really
saying it's both the things, but you began by
Absolutely.
no mention of FCRA, which is what the government's official stance has been.
Absolutely.
This is definitely a conversation. This is definitely a conversation that warrants
Rishita,
more time.
I need a minute.
I'm afraid I am completely out of time.